Russo, and I'm a registered dietitian at Doorways. Today I'm going to go over 5 things that you can do to help raise healthier eaters. The first thing is to lead by example. I know as parents we are busy and sometimes we don't nourish our own bodies. Make it a priority to show your kids how important it is to have a balanced meal. Sit down and have dinner together. Put that vegetable on your plate, that complex carb, the lean protein, the healthy fats. Even if your teen or adolescent doesn't eat those foods themselves, they're seeing it's a priority for you and that nutrition is something that you are focused on and putting time into. They do watch us. Second thing is, try to parent from a positive aspect or a positive standpoint around food. What I mean by that is we have a tendency to focus on what kids do negatively, meaning don't have another cookie, that's too much fat. Don't have more chips, too many carbohydrates. Try to really shift your thinking a little bit and instead educate your children on all the positive things food can give to us. For instance, like these oranges are packed with vitamin C. These avocados I'm going to put on my salad today are packed with healthy fats. We really want our kids to know that it takes a lot of nutrition in a day to fuel a healthy body. And if we can get them thinking, boy, I need more fruits or vegetables today, or I need more lean protein, rather than thinking I shouldn't be having this, it can really influence their whole relationship with food. On the flip side of that, try to stay away from the negative comments, calling food bad, calling food junk food. It really can have some pretty serious impacts. One of those impacts is when we deem food bad, we really give it a lot of power. Now you have a kid who's eating a cookie and cookies are bad. That kid may think they're bad or that they've done something bad. It gives a lot of power to food that can impact a child later on in life. The other consequence is we all know teens and adolescents, they love to rebel. And if we make foods forbidden or we call them bad or we put a lot of emphasis on them, sometimes that means they want them more. These kids are at an age where they're gaining more freedom and we don't want them going to friends' houses and eating entire bags of chips or cookies because at their house that would be shame, but there'd be shame around that, or maybe they were restricted and not able to have those foods. We don't want our children building the basis of their diet on foods that don't provide nutrition, but they can enjoy those foods on occasion and in moderation. And it's our job as parents to show them how to do that. Fourth thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is to really avoid using food as a reward. And this starts very early as we're potty training. We give M&Ms, if our kids are successful. But if we keep this trend up, we do risk raising children or adults who end up rewarding themselves with food. I've had a tough day at work. I'm going to go ahead and have a big pizza tonight, or they self-soothe with food. We really want to make sure that we reward our kids in other ways, with activities, with time with friends, and give them skills for coping with happy feelings and emotions that don't always involve food. The last thing that's really important is to make sure that we avoid body shaming children. At this point in their lives, adolescent bodies are going out and they're going up and they're changing, and your children are already uncomfortable in their skin. The worst thing we can do is to point out, wow, you're gaining too much weight. And I've even seen this mistake made by pediatricians when you take your kids in and they say, you really need to cut back on carbs because they've gained a significant amount of weight in a year. Try to be patient. I know as parents we want to jump in if we feel our kids are, headed in the wrong direction, but we don't know where their bodies will land once they're through puberty and that peripubescent state. So try to be patient. And there are other things that you can do to encourage healthy habits that don't directly body shame them. You can, as a family, go on more walks. You can include them in your cooking, maybe assign them to cook one night and show them how to put together a healthy meal. Again, teaching them about the different nutrients in food. Again, you might get some eye rolls, but that's okay. Our kids look up to us and they're listening. And on that note, also keep in mind that the comments you make about your own body or your own food can really impact our children. They do respect us, even if it doesn't seem that way, and they look up to us. And if you're making negative comments about your body, think of how that might impact your own children and what they think about their own bodies. At this age, at this point, we really want to be focusing a lot on that they're perfect exactly how they are and that their bodies are growing exactly how they should be. They get enough negative messages from the outside world. So just to recap, be good examples. Try to focus on the positive things about food and not so much about the negatives. Try not to use food as a reward, and really at this point, try to build them up in terms of their self-esteem around their body and their relationship with food rather than tearing them down. If you have any questions, please reach out.